After a 2-week business trip overseas, I was ready to finally enjoy some peace at my lakeside mansion.
Ow.
As my driver pulled through the wrought iron gates, I noticed something odd. The garden lights were on. The curtains in my upstairs office were drawn differently, and there was a strange SUV parked in the driveway. When I stepped out, suitcase in hand, a shrill voice cut through the warm evening air. It was Karen, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, marching toward me with her phone pressed to her ear. "Yes, officer, he's here now, breaking into the Johnson property," she said loudly enough for me to hear. I froze for a second, not because I was worried, but because she had just called the police on me for entering my own home. Moments later, 2 patrol cars pulled up, lights flashing. I calmly handed the officers my ID, property deed, and a key fob for the gate. While they checked my information, I asked if they could explain why Karen thought I didn't belong here. That's when one of the officers gave me a look that said, "You're not going to believe this." It turned out that in the 2 weeks I'd been gone, Karen had been house-sitting her words, which in reality meant she'd moved herself into my mansion without permission. She'd been using my pool, throwing wine nights in my dining room, and even moving some of her clothes into my master closet. My home security cameras had caught it all, but apparently she figured I wouldn't notice. When the officers confronted her, she tried to claim that she had permission from the HOA board to occupy the house while I was away for so long, as if neighborhood gossip gave her legal rights. One officer simply asked her for proof, and when she had none, they informed her she was trespassing and needed to leave immediately. Her face turned crimson as she sputtered about community image and making sure the property stayed maintained. I stood on the porch, arms crossed, watching as she was escorted to her SUV, muttering curses under her breath. The next day, I sent the HOA a formal letter banning Karen from my property and notifying them that any future incidents would result in legal action. Now, every time I unlock my gate, I half expect her to be lurking somewhere, but I also know she'll think twice before setting foot on my property again.